Okay, there are two of the most talked about stocks in 2018. Can you guess which ones I'm thinking of here? Apple and then Tesla. But this is a tale of two very different stock performances. Tesla gained 7% year-to-date. Apple is down 7% year-to-date. Its first annual loss, we should say, in 3 years. And what will 2019 look like for Tesla? And could Apple look to go from your screen to your driver's seat in 2019? Here to weigh in is Consumer Edge Research Senior Analyst Jamie Albertine, who covers the auto sector extensively. And we've got Wedbush Managing Director Dan Ives. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Great to be here.
So one of the crazier things that came up in 2018, and it was a pretty good moment, Liz Claman was speaking with Warren Buffett, and she asked him about these two companies. I want you to listen to what he said to her about, well, a buyout. Listen.
Would you suggest that Apple get into, or would you support it if they?
Well, I would support what Tim Cook does, but I think it would be a very poor idea to get into the auto business. It's not an easy business, and incidentally, the auto business is different. You can win in autos one year and you lose the next.
Okay, Dan. So basically, the Oracle says, yeah, that's not really a good idea. Apple should not be going after trying to buy Tesla. But begs the question: could a partnership be something in the future for these two companies?
Yeah, I mean, look, right now Apple definitely has a plate full in terms of the challenges, right? In terms of iPhone demand, specifically out of China and just some of the tariffs. In our opinion, on the auto side, we do believe a partnership with a Tesla is something that's a real possibility in 2019. Agree 100% with Warren, an acquisition is not something that we like. But a partnership, especially on next-gen EV with a Tesla, is something that we continue to view as a real possibility.
Jamie, it's not a bad idea considering that Tesla still continues to be such a fan favorite. People that own Tesla love Teslas. And I'm not talking the stock, I'm talking the vehicles.
Well, it's true about the stock, I think, as well. But and first of all, happy holidays. Good. Thanks for having me. I would tell you that I agree, I think, in principle that there, in theory, could be a partnership. But I have never seen Elon really play nicely with others when it comes to managing, a business that he's founded, right? And so I don't think there's high likelihood here. I think Tesla has enough on its plate with respect to trying to break into manufacturing to serve the Far East, breaking into the Model Y, their crossover utility version of the Model 3, and continuing to scale the Model 3, above and beyond the other corporate governance sort of issues that, if you will, have been self-inflicted throughout 2018. So I think there's quite a bit that Tesla's still going to have to figure out on its own in 2019.
Yeah. Well, Dan, that's why I was kind of thinking in the back of my mind, I don't know if I would have loved Tesla stock this year. I mean, you had Elon Musk out there saying that he had secured funding to go private. He didn't. He got in a lot of trouble with the SEC, as you know, lost his chairman job. And then you've also got the pot smoking. I mean, these are just a couple of things that really CEOs shouldn't do.
Look, I mean, that's why the Musk factor has definitely been a risk in the stock, and I think you saw that with a private tweet storm. But you have to separate it between what's happening on a transformational growth story that we compare in some ways to what we saw with Apple in iPhone going back a decade ago. Because you look at the EV market, you look where Tesla is, especially now going into Europe in first quarter and China in 2019. I think that's why it continues to be a bull-bear fight in the stock, because that Musk factor is there, and it's definitely been an overhang. But fundamentally, the story, especially on profitability going forward, is, I think, about to hit an inflection point going into the second half of 19.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, too. And then the whole China section of this. And Jamie, that question is to you with the auto industry. I mean, Elon Musk obviously wants to build in China, but we're in the middle of a trade war with China. And I'm wondering what that does to his outlook, or I guess your outlook for Tesla for 2019. Yeah,
and it's interesting you bring up China, because they're the only manufacturer to date that really hasn't partnered with a Chinese domiciled manufacturer to sort of form a JV and build into the Chinese market. So they're going at it at a much higher degree of difficulty. Look, from a trade perspective, I think expectations are very low that we're going to get line of sight on a conclusion in 2019, or certainly not in early 2019. So the stocks are maybe overly discounted. To the degree that there is any incremental sort of progress made, we would see that as upside, not only for Tesla, but for the auto industry broadly. And to go back to the prior point, look, Larry Ellison now being a member of the board could be that bridge to, potentially partnering with an Apple. We see that as an incremental, albeit, it is a sign that Elon is still very much in control of this company and precisely in front of in control of the board.
Yeah, and Larry Ellison, the chairman and CEO of Oracle, who's now on the board of Tesla, as well as another key executive, a woman, I believe, that actually joined the board. So you're saying those are good things for the company. It shows that maybe some adults are in the room, and I say that in all seriousness because of the behavior of Elon Musk. But Dan, I do want to go to one other thing, and I will never forget how much we talked about a possible iCar when it came to Apple. These things aren't so far-fetched to see these two companies maybe partner up down the line. It's possible. But Dan, what about the iCar? I mean, I know that we've got a lot of things we're expecting from Apple. A car's not one of them. They've kind of been silent about that. Well, really, they were never really vocal about it, but we saw prototypes on the internet.
Yeah, and look, I think Cook and Cupertino, they've tried a number of skunkworks projects in the labs there. And I think when you look at an iCar, them getting into the automobile side, it's definitely something that they've played around with. I think right now, Apple definitely backs against the wall in terms of what that next growth driver is going to be outside of services. Is it going to be content? Do they buy a studio? Do they partner with a company like Tesla? So I think right now, Apple is definitely, there's a fork in the road situation. They're going to have to make some tough decisions when you look out the next 5, 10 years to make sure they don't miss out on some of these key growth areas, and which is why we believe a partnership with Tesla is definitely something that could be on the table.
Dan, I would like to thank you for teeing up my next segment. Right there, that was perfect, because it's exactly what we're going to be talking about in the next part of the show is what is next in the world of streaming. And you're right about Apple, and that's going to come up, as well as we're expecting new the AirPods and a new iPhone and blah, blah, blah. So we'll see how that, we'll have to have you come back when we get more on that, more details on that. Dan Ives and Jamie Albertine. Guys, thank you and Happy New Year to both of you.